finished 2023 with 7 profitable months in a row. However, to start 2024, I started off with 15% drawdown 2 weeks into January. Anybody can come onto social media and know how to win, but not everybody that comes onto social media knows how to lose. And I'm such a big believer in the concept that you have to experience what loss feels like. You have to be down and out. You have to feel defeated, because if you don't know what it feels like to lose and to lose everything, you're always going to have this fear of it, and you're never going to be able to fully overcome, fully reach your full potential because you're scared of losing. What if this happens? What if that happens? I finished last year with 7 profitable months in a row. That's very hard to do in this day and age, especially with the markets. And then as soon as 2024 started, I dropped to 15% drawdown in the first 2 weeks. And I'm not going to even sit up here and say it's the market's fault, because it was my fault. I'm taking accountability for my losing streak, my slump. And if you want me to be real with you guys, the last time this situation happened to me in real life, and I won't go into too much detail about it, I lost everything. What I did during this month, recovering my drawdown, getting back to where I was, this means so much more to me than any of you guys even think. And to be honest, it was career defining for me to make this comeback, because the last time something like this happened to me, I was down and out. I lost everything. I didn't have the ability to make this comeback. I couldn't get my head out of it. I couldn't get my head straight. My mental state in the first 2 weeks of January was absolutely out the window. I was questioning myself. I thought that, this was the beginning of the end. I thought that, I was probably not going to be able to recover from this, that it was just going to spiral out of control and I wouldn't be able to fix it. I wouldn't be able to get back to where I was. And you know what? This is the absolute last time I ever fall in love with someone. I promise I'm not going to do that shit again. I gave my heart to this one person and it almost messed up my life for the second time. And I'm telling you, as a trader, it's very important to actually know how to deal with these things, because a girl could leave you. Some family trouble could happen. You could lose a loved one. And you're only a human. This stuff is going to affect you. It affected me. I thought I was past it. It was 3 years since this stuff happened to me, right? And then, I go and find this new person, and I'm thinking to myself, this time is going to be fine. That was 3 years ago. This is a different girl. Everything will be fine. But no, that feeling still stays there. As soon as you start caring, you're cooked. You're absolutely cooked. As soon as you start caring about this one person, you're giving them the power. And that's taking away power from your craft, taking away your trading ability, because all your mind, your emotions, it's going to be towards her. And now you're probably wondering, how did I get myself out of drawdown, 15% drawdown 2 weeks into January? I'd be lying if I said that I still wasn't being affected by this throughout the whole month. But to explain you guys what helped me, obviously it's going to be data collection. After the first 2 weeks, when I was absolutely cooked and I was down 15%, I had to reset on the weekend. I did a live stream masterclass because I wanted to share with my community what I was doing wrong. I reviewed my data. I had to look exactly where I was going wrong. And I was looking at my data. I was looking at my losing streak. I was looking at all my trades that I took. And I was looking at all the characteristics that were similar in the losing streak. And maybe the market conditions weren't that good, but I'm not going to blame it. But the market conditions were in much of a range for most of the month. And I haven't traded a range in a long time, probably a good 6 months. So all that was left for me to do was to make my adjustments. Most of my adjustments were take profits. My entries, my executions, they were flawless. All of my entries were so spot on. But most of the trades ended up coming back to my break even or my stop loss. So it was a very simple adjustment for me. All I really had to do was trim my take profits down to match the range, match what the market is giving me. My skill set is still there. My executions were still good. All I had to do was just make small adjustments to match the market conditions, because your take profits are always going to differ due to the market conditions. In trending conditions, you can hold your take profits out a lot longer and have higher time frame targets. But if we're trapped in the range, then you have to trim down those take profits. You have to take what the market is giving you. And it was a big learning curve for me, because most of the zones that weren't really fitting my criteria, they were being respected in the range, because we're not going to break outside of the range. We're going to stay within it. So realistically, the 3 things that honestly helped me a lot to overcome this losing streak, to get back to where I was data collection, looking at trends and similar characteristics of the losing trade so you can make the adjustments. Number 2, having the right people around you. These people helped me so much. My close friends, the people on the Discord that were just there for me, you know, just that moral support. And these guys were having faith in me when I was down 15% in the month, like, oh, you'll bring it back. And I was doubting myself. I'm like, there's no chance I'm bringing it back. My streak comes to an end. I'm going to have my first red month in over 7 profitable months. And the third and final thing that helped me, once you acknowledge where you went wrong in your data collection, you make the adjustments and you implement it into the market. That's all it is. A game of adjustments, a game of chess. That's what it is. That's what the market is. You have to make your adjustments. You have to act accordingly. I hope opening up to you guys and, you know, explaining how I was in drawdown, what I did to get out of it, my little rant and everything, I hope it does help you guys, because this is the reality of trading. It's not always going to be smooth sailing. Shit will happen, trust me. But thank you guys for tuning in. Drop a like, drop a comment if you have a question, and I'll catch you boys in the next one. Peace.